Hello, welcome to Kids Craft Lab, everybody. Today we are doing a great project. It's a weaving and it's a mat. So maybe you might even be able to use this for your Thanksgiving dinner table. This is a really fun and easy project, but let's get started with me showing you all the supplies that you're going to need to use. Of course, you're going to need a pair of scissors, and we're going to cut a whole bunch of construction paper strips for weaving, and then we're going to need some pieces of construction paper too. There's two sizes that I'm going to show you how to use. There's the regular size, 9 by 12, and then there's the 18 by 9, and we'll show you how to do them on both. And there's so many different ways that you can weave this together to make it look all wavy. So let's get started. You might be used to weaving, a checkered mat. That's sort of the traditional way. So I'm going to get started by showing you how to do one of those and then the variation that makes the waves. So I will use a piece of dark construction paper first. And so here I go to the tabletop so you can see what I'm doing. There we go. There's my strips. And I think I'm going to do the first one with a dark piece of paper. Oh, you're going to need a ruler too. Okay, so let's fold this piece of paper in half, just like this. And you don't have to crease it a whole lot because you don't want to do that. So I'm going to use my ruler because it's a little over 1 inch wide, and it's just a good way to measure. So we're going to be cutting along the place where I folded it, but you don't want to cut it all the way through because then you'll cut your piece of paper in half. So we're going to use this ruler to measure where to stop cutting. So I have a white crayon so you can see it up close on my camera. If I used a pencil, you wouldn't be able to see it. Whoops. So I'm taking my ruler and I'm holding it down, and I'm going to make a mark where I want to stop cutting all the way across my paper. Okay, see my mark? So now, how wide do you think I should cut my strips so I can weave them over and under? I'm going to use my ruler again as my measure. Whoops, yeah, as my measure. There we go. So I'm going to go like this and like this and all the way across. I'm drawing lines. Now I have a white crayon, but you might just have a pencil, and I'm just doing the white crayon so you can see it on camera. And then I've got, oh, it's kind of uneven. That's okay. Let's do a skinny one over there. All right, so that's my first step. And this is the line that I'm going to cut up to. This is the fold, and this is the edge. Okay, so here we go. So take my scissors, and I just cut and cut all of those lines that I marked right up to that line where it's the stop line. There we go. A couple more to do here. Whoops. And across and across. I have been making these since I was a kid, and I always use them at Thanksgiving under my plate at my grandma's house. Okay, so now I'm going to open it up and let's see what we got. Woo, look at that. Okay, so now we have kind of like a weaving mat. Now, I have a whole bunch of strips already cut, but let me show you kind of an easy way, if I can find my paper. Uh-oh. Just a second. Here's an easy way to cut strips pretty fast. So let's say I want some green and yellow. What I want is strips that will go across and fit in there. So I don't want to cut them this way because then they would stick out. That's the long way. So I want to do the same width of strips as my mat is wide, and that's the short way. So to cut a whole bunch of strips really fast without doing a whole lot of measuring, first I'm going to fold it in half the long way. Then I'm going to fold it in half again. Look at that. Half, half, and in half again. And those strips are going to be about 1 inch wide. That's pretty cool. So there is a bunch of folds, and I didn't even have to measure. All I had to do was fold. Can you see the folding lines on my piece of paper? And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut on my fold lines. Cut, 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 all the way across. Oops. All right. That one was a little uneven, but okay. So that's how you can cut a whole bunch of strips the easy way without doing a whole lot of marking with your ruler and drawing with your pencil. And they're all the same size because of the way you folded it. And I just have a few more to cut here. And then we'll start weaving. Whoops. Okay. Cut, 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 cut. Wonder how many cuts I get in a sheet of construction paper. Maybe a bunch. Okay, so there. Now I have my strips. Well, mine are all green, but that's okay. Now, here's the easy weaving part. It's over and under. That's the key. All right, so there's my edge. And I'm going to stick my strip under and then pull up the next strip, over the next strip, under and over and under and over and under and over all the way across. Oops. You know what? I cut them the long way instead of the short way. Oh well. I can always trim it as long as it's gonna work to go all the way across. So I have a yellow one already cut, so I'm gonna go the opposite all the way across on this one. Under and over and under and over and under and over and under. There. Cool, cool. So since I cut long strips instead of short strips, I'm going to trim those right off. Ta-da! And I'm going to do another green one. Then, so under and over and whatever strip that you started with, do the opposite one on the next one. So if you did over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under on one strip, you do under, over, under, over, under, over the next strip. And of course, I'm going to cut it off because I screwed it up. Here we go. Da-da-da. There. And so you start to get a checkered pattern and you go all the way across. And you can use lots of different colors or a different color background. And so eventually, you're going to get a checkered pattern. And that's pretty cool. It's like a basket weave. So now, how did I get all of the wavy zigzags? That is the fun part. So we're going to do one that's wavy. That's what we're going to do next. So let's do a wavy one. There is my piece of construction paper. Let me get these strips out of the way. And again, I'm going to show you how to do a wavy one. So I'm going to fold it in half because we're going to make our cuts from the folded end, and we're going to make them up towards the flappy end. And this time I think I can use, because this is yellow paper, I can use something that's dark so you can see it. So I've taken my ruler and I'm going to make my stop cutting line. Oops, right there. Stop cutting, stop cutting, stop cutting right there. Now, I want to make sure that I have my ends where I stop. So I'm using my ruler and I'm going to make a stop cutting line there and over here too. We're going to do some waves. This is our wavy one. Okay, so you got something that looks like that. There's the fold, there's the flaps, there's the stop cutting line. And so on this stop cutting line, I know it's a straight line, but I'm going to make it a wave because I'm going to cut around that line and over to that line and up to the stop line. Can you see the wave? And so I'm going to do it again. I'm going to go wavy, 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 wavy line up to the stop line. See how it's curved? Here we go. Wavy, 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 wavy. And it really doesn't matter. Like these are about 1 inch wide, these strips, but they don't have to be because this is sort of more free form than the checkerboard pattern. So I'm going to do a skinny one. Watch this. I think I just want a skinny one. Look how skinny that is. And I'm going to follow my wave up to here. And it's a lot skinnier than the other ones. Clip. And then I'm going to do another wave. This time I like kind of the fat ones, but I'm going to go a different direction. What if I want to go up there like that? Look at that shape. That's pretty neat. Okay, now I'm going to do another skinny one. Skinny, 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 and stop. Then I'm just going to do another wide one. I'm making all kinds of wavy, curvy lines with my scissors. I don't have to measure them because it's a free form. I can just do whatever I want as long as I don't cut it off. And even if I do, that's what tape is made for. It's like if I accidentally cut through right here, I just take a piece of tape and tape it so that I can use it. That's what tape is for. Whenever I screw up, I use lots of tape. Okay, so then I'm to my stop line, but I want to go around it like that because I like waves. Okay, so if you've made some lines on your paper and you see them and you don't want to see them on your mat when you're all done, you can just work from the inside. See, now they're invisible. Look at all those wavy strips that we cut. Pretty cool. All right, so now I have lots and lots of colors that we can choose from. Remember how we cut those strips by folding it and folding it and folding it over. So let's use, and some of my strips are even smaller. See how I did skinny strips here? I have pretty much inch wide strips right here, but I wanted some skinnier ones. So you know what I did? I took one of these and I just cut it in half. And it doesn't matter if it's straight because this one is free form. So now I have some skinny ones. So I have skinny ones and wide ones, and I'm going to start with orange because I think orange is a great Thanksgiving color. And so I'm going to go over and under and over and under and over and under. Sometimes it's really hard to pick up the pieces of paper to get your strip in there. And so if you get tired of weaving, you don't want to do it anymore, just come back to it later when you feel like it. There we go. Oh, check that out. There, I just did an orange one. Now I like that a lot. So because I cut these really long, I'm going to trim them. All right, so what color should I use next? I'm going to use a skinny green. Okay, so I went over, so now I go under, over, wait, okay, under, over, under, over, and over, and oh, check that out. That is looking cool. And I tighten it right down to my next strip because it's making the wave look really cool. Okay, so trimming time. And I've got a big fat purple one here. I like that color. So let's see, I went under, so now I go over, over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under, and I'm done on that one. So here we go. Whoa, it's looking really wavy, don't you think? I love it. Okay, how about, oh, I have blue. I have sort of this turquoise blue color. So I'm going to do a fat one, and then I'm going to do a skinny one pretty much. Okay, so that one's over, so this one's under, under, over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under, and over. Okay, now trim it, chomp. Okay, do I have any skinny ones? Oh, please. Oh, I got a pink skinny one. I like it. Skinny, skinny, so I'm going to do skinny. And I'm going to do over, under, over, under, over, under. Sometimes it takes a long time to fill in all of these. And that's why you might want to take your time and do it the part way one time. Go do something else and come back to it. Ooh, this is looking really wild. I like it a lot. But I think I need some more orange, right? Orange is a great color. And it's a fat one, so I like it. So I start under, over, under, over, under, over. You could make, if you really have a lot of time, you could make a mat for everybody's place in your family at Thanksgiving, and that would make it really special. There we go. Everybody would have one. They would turn out different every time. It wouldn't be the same at all, because every time you make one, you use different colors and you cut different waves. Oh, it's time for a green one. Should I do fat or skinny? I'm going to do skinny. I have a green, oops, yeah, I have a skinny green one. That looks pretty good. Okay, so over, I'm coming to the end. Under, over, whoops. Ah! It starts to get harder and harder to pull up the pieces of paper as you go around. But you can do it. There we go. Ooh, skinny green, skinny green. What haven't I used in a while? I only got one blue one, so I think maybe I'll do blue. I like that color. It's a very cool color. Okay, so, wow. All right, I'm going to do it. Over, under, over, under. Over, under, over, under, over, under, over. It's done. Over, under, over, under. How's everybody doing? I hope you're doing good. Okay, there we go. I have a little bit left. Look at that. That's looking cool, don't you think? Yeah. I have a little bit of room left right here. And so I think I have room for a skinny one. And I just happen to have one more skinny one, and it's a good, cool pink color, pinky purple. So I'm going to try to stick it in that last little space. Can I do it? Oops, wait a minute. Oh, this is where it gets really hard. Where is it? Oh, I see it. And remember, if something rips, that is what tape is for. Oh, you know what happened? I got it way stuck. Okay, there we go. I did it. I'm excited. All right, and then over, under, and I'm almost done. This is kind of like sewing. You go up and you go down. But not quite. There we go. You know what? I think down is easier than up. What do you think? You have to send me a message and tell me what you think. Is it harder to go up or harder to go down? I don't know, I've only got 2 more to do. 2 more. And the last one is a down and under. Uh-oh. There! Ta-da! There we go. All right, so that's what it turned out like. Pretty cool. Now, some of these edges are sticking out and they might come out. So you might take a little bit of glue, if you have time, and glue some of the ends, just like right there. And along this side, just glue them down. Then they'll stay. And they won't come out while you're eating Thanksgiving dinner. And so then you go down the other side, and a little dab of glue under each one of the ones that are, uh-oh, sticking up right there. Okay, so glue, 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 and then it'll stay better. That's pretty good. So I have a challenge for you. We won't do the whole thing on camera now, but I have a challenge for you. What's it gonna look like if you cut zigzags? So I'm gonna get a piece of paper and show you how to cut zigzags. And then if you want to try it at home, you can. All right, so I think I want something nice and dark that will show up all the colors that I have. So I have a black piece. So here we go again. This is a really larger sheet. This is the 12, the night. I think it's 18 by 9, but it's just half of the short pieces of the construction paper. So anyway, so I have a really big piece, so I'm folding it in half. And guess what? I need my stop line. I need my stop line. Whoops. And hopefully this one will show up. So I'll get my zigzag paper out of the way. There is my stop line. Does that show up? Not very well. Oh, shoot. There we go. Black is hard to make things show up on. There we go. Oops, there's my stop line. Okay, so how am I going to cut zigzags? How did I do that? Well, zigzags have points. And so I took points or mountains. See those? So I took and I folded, just creased right there. Just a little crease. Then I'd have one mountain, and then I put this one over to the middle, and I just creased it. Crease, and then I did the same on this side, and I just have a little crease. So then I took my crayon and I drew a line to the top to make mountains. Up mountain, down mountain, up mountain, down mountain to the stop line. Stop line. See? Zigzags. And so then I decided, okay, there's my easy breezy ruler as a measure, and so now I'm just following my mountain lines all the way across like this and like that. And I'm going to do it again. I'm following my mountain lines by measuring and holding onto my, now this is pretty advanced, but you can do it. All right, so there we go. I'm going to cut some right now that I showed you how to start it. You start with the mountains. See the mountains right there and right there? So I'm going to cut on my mountain line. Uh-oh. There we go. And then over to my other mountain line. Zigzag, 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 zigzag. All the way across. And one more. And of course, we turn it to the other side if you don't want to see all the lines that you put on your paper. And if measuring with the ruler and making mountain lines is too hard for you, you can always just wing it. And you can just think mountain. So I'm going to do that on this side. There's a mountain, there's a mountain, there's a mountain, and there's a mountain. Ha! There we go. So I'm just winging it. I'm just guessing. Okay. And there are lots of cool zigzags on this paper. All right. So what's a zigzag gonna look like if we start weaving? I'm gonna start with my brown one because I did that the other day. All right, so there's my brown zigzags. We'll just do a couple and then we'll challenge you guys to try that at home. All right, so I'm gonna start at the end with the yellow sheet. This one's yellow and brown. Those are really good Thanksgiving colors. And I'm going over and under and over and under and over and under. Whoops, I missed one. Look what, I made a mistake. Uh-oh. So I can start again. Over, under, over. Ah, this one is harder because they flap around a lot. Oh, but check it out. Check it out. Isn't that going to look cool? I'm going to do an orange one because that's a great Thanksgiving color. So I went under, so now I have to go over. Over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under. This is gonna look like really cool. So I'm gonna challenge you guys to do this one. I'm gonna do one more strip because you're gonna see how it's gonna look really cool when we're done with this one. And then you can do this one at home. Cut crazy zigzags, but the waves one is the most fun because you don't have to measure. You just go for it. Check that out. That's what zigzags are going to do. So there's zigzags. There's waves. Oops, where'd you come from? And I lost my checkers. But there's checkers. So we're all done here now for today. And I'm coming back to the FaceTime camera to say goodbye. There we go. So I hope you had some fun. I think this one is my favorite. And I'm going to be eating Thanksgiving dinner on this one, I think. So have a great day. Join us again next time for Kids Craft Lab. Bye now. Something I had never ever seen before. And here's where you get to make a choice. Was it a giant Tyrannosaurus Rex? And I'm just gonna stick some pine cones in my box, and then the fun starts. I just start rolling them around. Air rushing out of the balloon is going to push that balloon up. So let's see what happens. All right, 1, 2, 3. Oh, wow. So that's how rockets kind of work. We are going to build 2 different kinds of rockets today.